right. Now, I guess the gag is all here. How y'all doing?
Good evening, UN Space Seals. Your Commander Wolftan. I'm your werewolf. Tonight, something we've been waiting for quite a while. I put it off for at least about a few weeks ago. Unfortunately, we don't have our main man to talk about this schooner since he's caught up with his new work schedule. But I brought some people over to more than enough fill in for him. Tonight we're talking about the early Marvel movies before the MCU was a thing. From Blade all the way up to the Fantastic Four. We'll also be talking about, in the second half of this stream, our idea of Marvel Knights, an R-rated subsection of Marvel movies or superhero movies helmed by Marvel aside from the MCU. The alternative of what we would have been helming at the time when the MCU was starting to stagnate a little bit before Infinity War showed up and kind of renewed a lot of people's faith in the Marvel movies once again until that started crashing and burning. But we're not going to get into that. We're gonna get into something fun. So tonight, once again, we have our best guest character, the Gladiator Kaon, Matthew Flynn.
Welcome, Warbots and Decepticons. My name is Matthew Flynn, the Gladiator of Kaon, and I am very excited to be talking about the early 2000s Marvel films. Because there's a couple in here that I really like that aren't necessarily quality films, or at least that's the perception of some of these, and I really enjoy them. Probably has to do with the fact that I grew up with some of these early films. So I do have some kind of an attachment to some of these.
Yeah.
As we all. Next to him will be the Warrior of Light, Final Fantasy Fan 12.
Greetings to viewers and fellow Final Fantasy fans. This is Final Fantasy Fan 012 here, and welcome back to another live stream of the UN Spacey Wolf Squadron. And today, in this stream, we are talking about the early 2000s Marvel movies, from early 2000 till the year 2000 up till 2008, when Iron Man came into the picture to start the MCU. But we will also talk about our ideas for the Marvel Knights that starred the darker Marvel heroes.
Our resident lady and Smurfette principal is Leia Plus Size, the lovely Leia Valor.
Good evening, everyone. This is Leia Plus Size, your lovely Lady of Valor, and thank you for joining us for this session where we're going to talk about all the pre-MCU films and some movies that are our favorites. Some may not be great, but some may not be that bad. So I hope you enjoy our show, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
We have our wingman, the Hound of the South, Dominic Powell.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you're having a very pleasant night. Because tonight, as what we're doing today, we'll be going over the as Final said, like the late 90s and early 2000s Marvel movies before the MCU with Iron Man in 2008, and how we would deal with each of these obscure and mature like Marvel heroes as we develop this line, in this case an adaptation of Marvel Knights. And if you have any ideas on how you would handle each of these characters, feel free to put them down in the comment section.
We have our resident sneak man, the Eritrean snake, 12 Day. Negro, that's your cue.
Like, I was about to say, are you gonna say anything?
Yeah,
I was about to say the AKA the Etrigan Snake.
The whole point is he said I'm a sneaky person, so I'm supposed to be silent. But okay. Hello, it is I, the Eritrean snake, the evil one within everyone here. The only one that is actually evil. Everybody else here is swell. Hello.
In other words, everybody, he's the token evil teammate of our little group here.
I wouldn't say
Yes,
all
indeed,
that.
I am.
Our oddball of the team.
Yeah.
Nah, he's more of the lovable rogue, a maverick, if you will.
That's right. A renegade, probably.
Some of you guys' experience of the first Blade movie.
I know I've seen it quite some time ago, but
I love it.
man,
I
I was
love it.
I was I was I was exposed to Blade like during elementary school during a boat ride with a family and with a friend of a family and immediately I was hooked. I was hooked to this movie from the story as well as to the character of Blade Eric Brooks, and I was happy to know happy to see a character who wasn't like who was like obscure back in the day to receive a wider appeal thanks to Marvel Studios at the time. And I also appreciate them giving a credit to Mark Wolfman since he is the creator of Blade.
I came
I
through
remember
it
being
through word of
excited.
mouth.
Mm,
Oh,
go
go ahead,
on,
Wolf.
Leia. No, you go on.
I'll make it short. I got into it through word of mouth. I didn't rush out and see it as quickly as a lot of people did because I knew the character, but I will be honest with you, I didn't read the comic that much. But everyone that I knew who knew me said, this is a really cool movie and you got to check it out. So that's how I was able to see it because everybody that I knew was talking about it. And so I said, okay, I will go and see this live action version of this character. And it's not in my top 5, or it's me more like in my top 20, but I did enjoy it for what it was.
A popcorn flick.
For me,
Yes, but
I got into it because of Spider-Man animated series.
Oh,
When we got to the season that introduced Blade,
oh yeah, you're right.
as soon
Oh,
as
I remember that.
as
I
soon
think that's when
as
Yes.
I think that's when I first saw Blaze because he
Yeah.
was on that cartoon.
No,
And
a
then at
lot
that
of
point, I got
that was this before or after the release of the movie.
yeah.
before. It's
Oh yeah, you're
before.
right. Actually,
yeah, because
When
Blade was
I think that was
98, if I'm not mistaken,
yes,
wasn't it?
and Spider-Man was in when?
Like when he first appeared.
I want to say the Spider-Man
No.
cartoon was like
well,
possibly
94.
96,
Oh, wait.
97, probably.
No, it's 94.
It was
Okay,
94.
94.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so
So
actually,
a lot of
I
time
think
for you
that
to catch the Blade episodes that featured him to know who he was. By the
and
time
also
the movie rolled out with the commercials.
and it also came about after the Neogenic Nightmare story arc. So
Oh
yeah, actually, I
yeah.
will take take back what I said. So what how I was introduced to the character of Eric Brooks. Brooks, it was through Spider-Man '94 instead of the movie first.
I knew it, Dom. I
Yeah, it's the
knew
same
it.
for me.
Yeah.
And I saw the first Blade
Um.
movie later on when I got a box set of all 3 movies.
I was lucky enough that my mom, even though she's not that big of a comic book person, her only entry is Superman mostly, Superman and Batman. But when she saw Blade on screen, she immediately took me and my brother to the theaters to see it, and boy were we excited. It's kind of funny that she took us to an R-rated movie, considering our age at the time. I believe me and my brother was around 10 and 6. No, 10 and 8 at the time. We were still attending elementary, but we loved it. We loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't the only one.
Oh, I mean, Blade was on honestly my first R-rated movie to watch as a kid.
Hell, before that we saw Spawn on cable. But ever since when Blade will ever show up on TV, we would watch it immediately. Me, my mom, and boyfriends at the time, we would sit down and watch it every chance we got. Hell, I watched it with my cousins even whenever they had it. We even had the dare I say we even had the VHS by that point. And to this day, I keep both the first and second movie on DVD. Though I will share my thoughts on the third film later on, and the third film is going to be my rewrite of how we're going to break it to the entry of the first of our Marvel Knights section.
I have an idea of how I would rewrite the
I mean,
third
hell,
one
one of my
too.
early
Mostly,
experiences with Blade is
Mhm.
getting a hold of this lead like painted statue in like a subscription Marvel thing. I forgot what it was called.
Hmm.
I have no idea if
That
this is a
looks
thing that
nice.
was done in America as well, but
That is cool, there, Matthew.
I have more than just this Blade. I got a whole bunch of them. I don't
That's-
remember what number of Blade was because it
We
came
will
with
exempt
obviously this, and then it came with a little booklet that has a whole bunch of
actually
various.
we will exempt the X-Men and the Spider-Man movies because we've already covered those.
Yeah.
We already covered X-Men and we've already covered Spider-Man early days of the Wolf Commander Rambles.
Yeah.
So we'll talk a bit more about the Fantastic Four. Let's before we get into that. Let's get into the next movie that came later, especially after the first Spider-Man, Daredevil.
This one
Alrighty.
I actually have. This one I actually have a lot more memory with the early 2000s more than Blade really, because yeah, short story. When I was introduced to Blade, I was introduced to him thanks to there was a Marvel puzzle that my family bought me because I was a massive Spider-Man fan, and a lot of my childhood was revolved around Marvel thanks to Ultimate Alliance, and it's because of that I got the Marvel puzzle, and Blade was in one of them. I think he was in the center one because it was a three-piece Marvel puzzle where one section that's easy, the middle section is medium, the other section is more harder because the pieces are a lot smaller. And then and then another time I was introduced to him was the Marvel pinball, Pinball FX 2 that has that whole Marvel pinball themes going on when they actually have that around him. And then I do remember seeing a glimpse of the movie, specifically Blade 2, when my dad was watching it. And then that's pretty much everything else I pretty much know about Blade. I do actually know him a lot more about later, that when I didn't even know when he was in Ultimate Alliance 2, because I never got that far from that. But Daredevil, that one I know a lot much more about because my cousins introduced me to him thanks to this movie. And I thought when they showed me to him, and I was like, wow, that guy's fucking awesome.
You know, I only saw the Daredevil movie like once ages ago. Most of my experience with Daredevil came from the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, and also his appearance in games like Marvel Ultimate Alliance and the PS1 Spider-Man games.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in there.
I think he was only in the first one. I don't remember if he was in the second one.
I mean, some of the other Marvel heroes probably would have been in there too.
When we went to see the first Spider-Man movie, we got the trailer to Daredevil, and I was excited for that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Matt Murdock
was
makes an appearance in the Punisher game.
Or was it in the Spider-Man sequel?
It should be in the. I think it should be in the first one because that came out back in 2003.
Yeah. When we went to see the first Spider-Man movie, we did, like I said, we did get. This was back when they were announcing movies that were going to come out next year. Like how far have we come so far when it came down to movies? Remember that, guys?
Yeah.
What when we got good trailers or good film?
A bit of both. Like,
yes.
Whenever you ever got a preview for a movie of those times, they would tell it was coming out next year, and you have to wait next year for it to come out. These days, they'll tell you it's 2 months away. Some movies that do get announced early, that are in production as we speak, do get announced that they're coming out next year. But these days today's movies, they get announced like, oh, by the way, it's either next month or 2 months away.
I mean, it's probably like when they're just like around close to just being wrapping up, like they're about close to being done. That way they just won't be disappointed. But yeah, I do see that, just like to build up anticipation for that.
Hell, I remember T3. I forgot what movie I went to see when that got announced. I think it was it may have been Jurassic Park 3. No.
And also the movie, when those instances when the movie's like a few months away and then it does come out a year away, but only because it's been delayed rather than actually planned to come out a year later.
When they announced T3, that was a year. That was going to be a year away. It was a little teaser that shows the T and the 3 with the T1000 liquid metal forming the number and the letter. You know, I still remember that too when I was a kid. I can't for a life of me remember what movie I went to see that day and who I saw it with when they announced T3.
Well, I know for me, this is.
I think it might have been an X-Men movie, or maybe it was an action movie.
I was coming out of The Hunt for Red October when I saw it wasn't a trailer yet, but I was leaving The Hunt for Red October, and they had the posters announcing Star Wars was going into re-release. I think it was 97. And it wasn't the same, and I flipped my squid when I saw that poster because I had noticed it coming out. You had to leave out of the theater, the back entrance. In the theater I was in. Oh, I meant to say my popcorn. Yeah, I was like over the moon when I saw that. Because it wasn't, you didn't see it going into the theater, but when you exited out the back entrance.
Did you really used to say that when you get excited, like flip your squid?
Well, you know it's fine though.
No, it's okay. You can laugh.
I'm not saying.
I'm kidding.
Go ahead, you can laugh. It doesn't embarrass me at all. I got no shame because I literally almost really dropped my popcorn. I guess I still had it in my hand. And I'm trying to think, when did Hunt for Red October come out that early? I forgot if it was, I think it was 96. Yeah, and I know it's always because you can laugh. You can laugh out there in the chat, you guys. All right.
Flip your squid. It's just like, oh my god, there's a new movie coming out. Oh my god.
You can say it.
No tentacle hentai.
Okay, I wasn't thinking that, but now I am.
I wasn't thinking that either. I was thinking more of, I was trying to say my popcorn went all over the floor. And when I saw it.
Yeah, I get that.
Give somebody a butter shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I get that you drop your popcorn. But flip your squid, did we really used to say that?
I'm dating myself.
She is Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So chances are that's what they say.
I'm going to assume it's an American thing because I've never heard anyone say that.
I mean, flip your lid.
Flip your lid, squid, whatever. That's to the extreme.
Rose barbecue make you want to flip your old grandmama. Hey, that right, Willie? Yeah, boy. Hey, mama, what you want?
Almost made me spit my drink.
Oh my goodness! Finally, I've given you a good one to joke about.
No, it's because of Wolf when he said, "Oh, say flip your grandma." And then I almost spat my drink.
I have heard some crazy ones. I'm not going to repeat them now, but I've heard something more crazier than what I said. I have heard some crazy ones. Because remember, my family came with me to the movies too, so maybe I picked up on some of the lingo. But it wasn't a trailer; it was a poster.
The amount of time until she say "hoot nanny."
Yeah.
Like, hoot nanny, hoot nanny, hoot nana.
I was also going to say, back in the day, we would get to the theater.
I thought Team Edge was the only one that said that. That said hoot nanny as a verbal flub. Anyway, continue.
Oh, yeah, Squid is well, like, well, yeah, I literally did. I still had some popcorn left over, and the bucket just went everywhere when I saw the poster, and I felt so bad. I was like, oh, they just vacuumed this floor, and I've got popcorn all over it. Ah, I know they don't want to, call that up.
Like, great, now we're gonna have to clean up that. I just cleaned that too. God damn.
Yeah. But I was going to say, back in the day, we used to get to the theaters, get to movie, me particularly, because I was always get there early, and my family hated going with me. Like, why are you rushing us to the theater? We will get there on time. I said, because I want to get there for the trailers. It used to be like what brought out, you looked forward to the trailers. Trailers were part of the show. And my family members, whoever came with me, got on my nerves because I wanted to get them for the trailers. And then you always want to get there before. What is it? Okay, what are they there for? The family members used to get on my nerves.
Your family silently judging you.
Oh, they know I'm used to it because they wanted to get there 5 minutes before the movie started. But I said we need to get there at least an hour to 30 minutes because I'll miss the trailers. And I'm like, girl, we're going to get there. What's the trailers mean? I said, no. We have to get there before the trailers because back then the trailers
are the goddamn saving grace.
Yes.
For when you get there.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know you gotta stop, get your ticket, stop, get your food and snacks. If you choose to, stop, find you a seat.
Mm-hmm.
This would be back before trailers had like a little preview of the trailer in the trailer, which is very irritating.
Yeah.
What do you mean? The trailer before in the trailer?
Like the
okay, you know how modern trailers have like a split second of the trailer itself, like that they're showing right at the very beginning of the trailer itself. Like it's not a separate thing; it's like actually embedded in the actual trailer itself.
Like a teaser, because you have a full
like some
trailer
kind of
and you have a teaser
for the trailer you're about to watch. I don't get why they do that. That bugs the crap out of me.
But they use, I get it, but I used to all, like Wolf is right. You got that. I told him we need to get there early because we need to get our tickets, get our snacks, get our seats, and then I would get there for the trailer. But my family members like, that ain't the movie. I said, well, it's still part of it's the trailer. Don't you want to see a preview of what's to come? No, I want to get so they would say, I want to get right to it. So they hated me coming along because I would always push them to like, you guys got to get going. Why are y'all so slow?
I came to California because we ain't about that shit.
Why? And this is a bunch of us.
We about getting there where the trailers are starting. My mom be racing down to the theater. She'd be like, I hope the trailers is going. Oh, is the trailers going? Do you think the trailers are going? It's like, I hope it is. Because I like looking at movie trailers.
Anyway. Yeah.
I don't understand the importance of how good trailers are.
Yeah.
Because they're the reason why you will come back to the freaking theater.
Right. That's the point of the trailer. I mean, is to come back.
Grant, you do get that in the regular TV commercials, but how often do you get a commercial for Blade?
Or not so much anymore.
Four?
Not so much anymore.
I mean, they hype. Remember how hype? Now we're not going to talk extensively about this, but when X2 was announced coming out, remember how hyped that was?
Oh yeah, a lot of people were excited for it.
There was a lot of TV spots just sharing who gonna be in it. Storm, Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Cyclops, and Professor X got their names bolded in metal. Just bolded in metal.
Rogue
got that orchestral music playing in the background. Everything. They were hyping the shit out of that sequel. I was excited too. I was pumped.
Yeah, I went opening weekend. I was ready for it. Yeah, I went opening weekend. It had me. He's right. They don't do that anymore. It's to get you.
I'm gonna close on this one. When we went to see X2, we went there so early that the lights were still on. I was sitting
there. Were they playing music too?
Nah. This was before they started playing music. This was before AMC was even a thing.
Oh yeah. Okay.
This is way before AMC was even a thing. I forgot what movie theater. I think we went to the Bianchi to see that one. Yeah, we went to the Bianchi. But I was sitting there just bouncing up and down. Just waiting for it to start. That's how excited I was. I couldn't even sit still. I didn't even have no sugar in me. I was so excited. I didn't even have sugar. That's how excited I was. I ain't even had no sugar in me. And I was bouncing up and down like I was a crackhead. And nothing prepared for. You know, I'm gonna stop right there because man, I'll be going on and on and on. Let's get back to Daredevil real quick because my grandma had the my grandma had the VHS and I watched that constantly, very constantly. Now, granted, Daredevil had a different look and scheme to it in comparison to Spider-Man, and you would think Daredevil would be a little bit brighter, just like Spider-Man. I was hoping it was gonna be just like that, but man, I was wrong. Completely wrong.
It is so freaking dark.
I mean, it's not dark to the point where you don't see anything of what's going on. What I am saying is the palette color is still colorful in its own way. It still had this gel sheen to it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I like the fact that
his outfit is also like more of a burgundy red rather than a more vibrant red.
Yeah.
But I like the color of his costume, though.
Yeah,
I didn't have an issue. I was
that's actually an alternate costume in Ultimate Alliance, not the Marvel Knights outfit, where his gloves and boots, especially the eyes and horns, and his symbol is a brighter red, but the rest is like a more darker red. That's actually, it was kind of my favorite Daredevil suit out of all the costumes. It wasn't the exact suit in the movie. It was just that's what it was. It was the Marvel Knights Daredevil in that game. That was actually pretty much my favorite Daredevil suit in that game.
Wait, was the yellow Daredevil suit an option in that game?
It is, yeah, it is, yeah. It is. Yeah, the classic Daredevil suit is an option.
I had that suit in Marvel Ultimate Alliance when we had it for PS2.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't red and yellow. I like that it was a reddish burgundy fire, like very dark.
Yeah.
I was glad.
Yeah,
I liked
very
it much
surprising
better.
that they would just like do that, even though, because his father didn't wear any form of yellow like he actually did in the comics, because that explains the yellow in his first appearance.
And it worked. I was like, I'm so glad they didn't go with that red and yellow. I liked it just the way that was in there. But I do agree, the rest of the palette seemed to be, other than the suit, it did seem to be dark, the darker than I thought it was.
It almost looks a bit black because like the entire suit is more of like a red velvet.
Right. But for the film,
what did y'all think of Michael Clark Duncan as the Kingpin?
I mean, hey, he looked to be the right shape for the Kingpin.
Right size too.
Yes. Yes.
I feel like he was a bit more muscle than fat, although I know the Kingpin isn't actually fat. It's more of just he looks fat rather than he actually is.
Yeah, like
it's only
like
98% muscle. The rest is only 3%.
Yeah, I was thinking like 3%.
What's the my body? Well, what's the like he had a sumo wrestler's physique.
That's why. Yeah, that's why he's fat.
Well, but again, like in the comics, Wilson Fisk has a sumo wrestler's physique, whereas like when they look fat, they're not. They're actually underneath the skin is all muscle.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you guys, and his voice fit too.
Yeah.
His voice
I still
really
find
fit.
it questionable. Why would he even kill his own crew out of the blue?
Because they talked. They were talking shit.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. This was a race swap, and it was no big deal to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
I'm very surprised they didn't adapt the part of the Daredevil comic where the Kingpin sits in his underwear doing push-ups.
Well, at the time, like Vincent D'Onofrio, he was still acting.
I mean, that is something that actually happened in the comics.
Oh yeah, I know. We know. But I'm saying, like, Vincent D'Onofrio, he was still active. However, like at the time, like he wasn't the right build, like to look intimidating like Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was still babysitter's quilt looking.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that was the only reason why they hired him is because hey, he looked the part. I mean, sure, he was not
Yeah,
white. He was not white, but he just looked the part.
no,
He fit the role in every other aspect.
yeah, he was chosen to play Kingpin based on merit.
Yeah,
Like his race was never the factor.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why it was never an issue for all the little younglings out there that are listening. It was never an issue to us. That's why now today we don't buy into it like they make it an issue now. But
yeah.
like you said, Dominic, it was no one had a problem with it. I didn't have a problem with it. I thought he
Yeah.
pulled it off pretty
Bullseye, on the other hand, I do.
Colin Farrell.
good. You didn't like Colin Farrell? Nobody liked Colin.
Well,
Go ahead.
no, I mean they got the psychotic personality of Bullseye right. As for the costume, although they could have been they should have been more comic book accurate.
Yeah, but instead he just has the Target logo like engraved
Well-
onto his own head.
Well,
instead of
it's
just
more
being
of
on
a
the
I
scar.
mask.
feel like does actually have that in the comics.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he does.
And also,
he
what
does.
the fuck
However,
is
I
with
was.
that? Oh, sorry, Dom.
Yeah, I mean he does have the bullseye shaped scar on his forehead as Matthew pointed out. Like he does have that in the comics. However, again, like he could have
Yeah, he's a
been. He
psychopath,
looked,
but he's not a fucking animal.
no, that's the key. Yeah, like he's not an animal in the comics. Like he was very
Yeah,
very
he acts
methodical.
very animalistic. Like, how much can I bulge out my eyes to do this? And how much can I just
Yeah.
like shake my head? And what the heck is with that crocodile coat? That crocodile long coat that he just whips out and just plays rattlesnakes to do that? Like, he's Irish.
Yeah, so if you adjusted
To be
that
honest, I don't remember
to make it more.
barely anything about this movie, so
Well, I mean, look. Well, the point is, if you only adjust the personality to how he is in the comics, and give him his costume. Also, then Colin Farrell, like he would have like effectively killed it as Bullseye in the movie.
Yep. Yeah, Kingpin. Yeah, he looked the part. Colin Farrell is Bullseye. Boy, does it look fucking awful.
very early
Again,
2000s.
Again, he could have been done
I have-
better. But Ben Affleck, he was to this day, he's still not bad as Daredevil. Like I prefer the director's cut of the movie more than the theatrical.
Yeah. Even director's cut or not, Ben Affleck, fine as Matt Murdock, but he's fucking awful as Daredevil.
I'm not the bad
Actually-
guy kid.
Yeah. Not only that, one problem with it, he can't act like he's fucking blind.
He kind of did.
He did.
He tried.
Well, also,
He did. He
I
did
would-
practice.
I would add, when he dressed up as Bullseye, when he's not not doing his activities as Matt Murdock. No, like he shouldn't have like done like an attempt at a Batman voice from Kevin Conroy. Because
It's very
in the Marvel universe, like Daredevil, he's not Batman.
Exactly, yeah. In fact, and yeah, they tried to the beginning of the scene where they just he stopped a rapist from in that film, but yet he just like let him die on the train, like no. And then he just only stopped to kill, and then when he went to kill the Kingpin, he chose not to because plot.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So
Oh, but I ain't the bad guy because the director's cut from what that scene. So fucking what? It's still a shit Daredevil.
again, the director's cut wasn't proven from the movie. However, I will concede, Matt's characterization in the movie, much like Bullseye, it should have
Also,
been
why
more.
does he sleep in that coffin? Oh, well, yeah, just to shut out the rest of the world because of how much he cannot actually hear much when he's in water. But why did he have to sleep in a coffin of all places? Like he
Well,
just like,
as I was,
then emerges out of a like he's just like a vampire.
what I was gonna say before you interrupted me, final,
Sorry.
is much like
This is
both.
not me.
Anyway, much like Colin Farrell as Bullseye. Like if I was like the writer in the Daredevil movie, I would actually have the two of them be more like their comic book counterpart instead of like what the writer in that movie had written them as, and also relay that to the director.
Change of plans, Matthew. How are your Thursdays?
Uh, yeah, Thursday should be fine.
We'll do a part 2 of this where we get into our version of Marvel Knights. We'll just talk for an hour about the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sounds like a
It's
plan.
going. We're getting close to being late, and I got work in the morning anyway. So we'll
Okay.
do the second half in the this Thursday.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're going off on multiple tangents.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Beautiful
I had
tangents.
Well-
They're welcomed. They're welcome.
Yeah, because
Well,
sorry, Dom.
not
Sorry.
we're not really going into tangents because like we are still connected to the topic. However, we're talking more about the early Marvel movies in more of a retrospective light instead of pitching in on how we would have done with each of these films.
My take with Daredevil, and it's interesting. What I think the reason the director's cut was better is because the studio was probably scared the movie would be too dark, and they would not get the audience they were searching out, which of course is kids. Kids sell merchandise, and they may have been afraid that if it went too dark, it would repel people away. So I think that's probably why the director's cut seems to be so much better. Because
Speaking in the movie's defense, Daredevil
Mhm.
did kill in the early part of his comic book tenure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I agree. I don't have a problem with
Yeah,
that.
it was out of fright though, because like he died from a heart attack.
No, I'm saying like he did execute his perps
Yeah,
before
like the
the
target
Born
that
Again,
he's looking for. Yeah.
before the Born Again story started happening, and that's when I think it was around Born Again where he stopped killing.
Well, it's interesting, Final, that you say with Ben Affleck's performance that he was a good Matt Murdock, but he wasn't a convincing Daredevil, which goes to show me
Honestly,
again
we could
the
have
trickery.
a Daredevil movie where it could have been just a court case, like
Yeah.
We Were Soldiers. I think.
Yeah,
Was it We Were Soldiers? No, it's the one with Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson. What was it called again?
I am not sure because I hardly ever watched any other action films.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, that film. If anybody in the chat knows that film, remind us. I can't believe my mind is going blank.
I think it was U.S. Marshals.
No, it was something else. It was something else, and my mind is going blank on it. About You Can't Handle the Truth. If anybody remembers that, let us know, because my mind probably come to me later because I know I saw the movie, so
We Were
I can't.
Soldiers, the one about that one lady that held her ground, and they were trying to.
Whose phone?
Oh, sorry, that would be my alarm to wake me up in the morning.
Oh, I said it's not me this time. But back to Daredevil. Overall, I thought the film was, that Jack Nicholson film. I can't think of it. I thought it was basic something. It'll come to me later.
No,
I thought it was
the one
basic.
with Sam Jackson.
Few Good Men.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Child of Flower. Thank you so much. That's the title. Yeah, it could have been that.
And you see Matt just going around the superhero, and you just go right back to the court case.
Yeah, that would have worked. That would have worked for the film. What did I think altogether? I thought Ben Affleck
really
was okay.
balanced that. Really would have been a good marriage between heroism and heroism in the courtroom.
Yeah.
I have
Like
to
you
agree
just
with you on that, Wolf. Yeah.
with good edits and good storytelling, you could tell that the court case that's currently happening and the Emiz res technique is starting through the heroism that Daredevil was going through, where you see him as Daredevil looking up clues, beating up bad guys, beating up for information, investigation, all that stuff, leading up to the court case, and he wins on two fronts: one beating up the bad guy, and then win this case at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
You got to put a little Law and Order mixed in with a little with a little Marvel, and yeah, that could have been. I
Did
think
any
it
of you
should have
guys
been
like?
right.
Sorry, Leia. Did any of you
Go ahead.
guys like Jennifer Garner as Elektra?
I'll be honest, I don't need much to
No.
really.
I
I'd
have
have
to
to
be.
rewatch the film again to really to really answer that properly.
I mean, she did come off as a stuck-up, hardened bitch, but she did have her vulnerable side.
Well, yeah.
Although now I think about it, I don't really know Elektra that much as a
No, she was
character to begin with,
Garner.
so I can't really give any kind of frame of reference for that.
Garner was a different what not different. She was a decent Electra Nachios in the movie, but she acts stuck up. However, throughout the movie, in both the theatrical and the director's cut, like she allowed herself to show her more vulnerable side.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think she showed more vulnerability than the Elektra that we got from the Netflix show. The Netflix show, we really didn't get any vulnerability, but
I mean, yeah,
Well,
because
It
too much.
was comic accurate to some extent.
And I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem
Yeah,
with that.
Because
But
Elektra
yeah, because
is kind of
let's see.
hardened. She's
Yeah,
a killer first and foremost.
yeah,
and she started out as a femme fatale for Matt before who got it back to the right path through the two's mutual interactions.
you're right, and I don't have a problem with that. I can't argue that at all. I understand.
My only
Now I'm
problem
kind of like
with
Matthew.
Elodie Young's Elektra was the fact that she was just a weapon. There was never no moment of human. They removed a lot of the humanity from her as the Netflix series went. So she
Yeah,
was
that's what I was
away
trying
for
to
a
say.
while. She was away for a while, and then when she came back, it's like there was never no chance for growth with her. None whatsoever. And that's unfortunate because I do like the actress Elodie Young. She does a good job being an action star
Mm-hmm.
and a an action lady first and foremost. She was I believe her name was what was her name in GI Joe Retaliation?
um,
Jinx.
No,
Oh, you talk about the actress who played Jinx in that movie and then also played Elektra in the Daredevil show.
Yes. Thank you for finally catching up to us.
Yeah, I don't remember her name, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
No, so her name was Elodie Young. Her actress, the actress' name is Elodie Young. But I'm talking about the character she played in the GI Joe Retaliation. Was she Jinx?
Yeah, it was Jinx.
yeah, it was Jinx.
Yeah, she was in that one. She was also in the sequel to District 13 Ultimatum. She was one of the gang leaders that raided the embassy.
Well,
It
you're
was
just
that French parkour film.
well, your description of her is pretty much how I said with the show. It I don't mind if she's come up accurate. That didn't bother me at all. But I always felt like something was missing to make me really, really like her. You know, I just felt like I was liking her for all the action stuff that she could do. Again, it's not bad, but I felt like something is missing, and maybe it was maybe what you just said.
Sorry, Leia. Speaking of before MCU, we had John Favreau as Foggy freaking Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And it was one of the conflicts on the. There are conflicts on the set between the director and him, because, yeah.
Trouble seems to follow John wherever he goes.
I
Yeah,
didn't mind him as Foggy. I thought he was okay.
I like the best Foggy, man.
Yeah. I like.
Dare I say he was comic book accurate Foggy in the movie versus what's his face who plays Foggy in the Daredevil show.
I so agree. Yes, I do.
And that's
I
not
agree on that one.
now here's the kicker. That's not a bad thing because I do like series Foggy. Series Foggy is pretty good because he grows into the Foggy that we like later on in the stories as the series went on for each season, especially in the third season. Goodness gracious, man, what a transformation!
He started to become more like comic book Foggy.
With a bit of a altruistic side to him.
You said
Whereas
there was
Favreau's Foggy is he's obviously motivated by money.
you
He's
said there was an
motivated by
issue.
money.
There was an issue between Favreau and the director of Daredevil. There were some issues going on.
Yeah, there was issues with that, a lot of that, because like Wolf said, Trouble follows Jon Favreau wherever he goes.
We don't know why, but it just seems to be the case because you always hear rumors about there's always trouble behind the scenes with Favreau, and usually Favreau's involved in some way, shape, or form.
Well, maybe he's just misunderstood with his passion about things. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, in his current situation at Disney, I don't think everything is all his fault. I gotta be honest. I don't think everything is all his fault.
I'm just saying, like every single time we always he's always involved in the production that people always bringing up some issues they had with him. And I'm like, what was the issue? What was really the issue? Like what can you say? What did he do? Did he say anything lewd or unprofessional? No, it's a conflict of interest or a conflict of ideas. So it's a case of where you're not gonna hand him the fucking keys and let him drive. Is that what you're telling me? Because at this point, I trust in his vision more so than yours. I'm sorry, but that's how it's going to be.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying that he can do no wrong. Iron Man 2, anyone?
Well, Iron Man 2, it was not. It was not. The conflict came with more of Disney. They took it over and pushed him out. He did not want to do that story. He wanted to do Devil in a Bottle, but they said that's going to scare kids away. So you're going to do it our way. And that's what happened there. So I can't blame him for. I can't put all the blame on him for Daredevil. For Iron Man 2.
I'll repeat. Trouble follows John wherever he goes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. One thing I do want to know.
Usually, it's not his fault.
Yeah. One more thing about Daredevil that I do want to know before we go into the next one. The blind visions that Daredevil would have. Well, a lot of it might seem
echolocation.
Yeah, the echolocation that he would do. A bit accurate. It looks cool. Yeah.
No.
But
no.
It's just
that's a superpower. He did not have that shit.
I mean, I was just saying, like, the visions that we actually do see. I mean, hey, it may look cool, but a lot of times they always get Daredevil's powers a lot wrong. Like one time when Bullseye just tossed a plate at him, and yet instead of just like catching it or just like deflecting it, he actually lets him hit it to his throat, in spite of his enhanced senses.
You're saying it's inconsistent.
Yes, and a lot of times we can even like hear visions that can just be like blurred out so that we hear it in his perspective, like in the first fight where he tried to fight Casada. Because we keep seeing, because that's what we see a lot of.
Visual.
Yes.
Sonar visual. You make it sound like these motherfuckers are damn clairvoyant.
That's what we see. We always see his perspective.
Yeah, visual representation. Yes. In other
Yes.
words, when every time sound bounces off of things, it doesn't really give him a clear visual, just a silhouette, an outline of where the sound is engulfing around it.
Yeah, but the movie they just portray that like he just has to hit something and just actually just goes at it like he's just like some sort of bat or like some weird Dark Souls boss. I mean, well, yeah, it can do that, but his senses work also in a similar fashion to Spider-Man's spider sense. Because his senses are that enhanced. Like, okay, yeah, like, and oh yeah, there's also a lot of references. Like, of course, there's like 2 Stanley cameos in this film.
Look down, look down, look down.
What do you mean?
Child of Flowers, her questions.
Comment.
That was her comments.
Comment.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of
That's
other
a hard
cameos
ass
of.
question.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. There's actually there's a lot of cameos in the references to people who've worked on Daredevil. Like there's a reference to Frank Miller, Matt Bendis, Quesada, one that's actually his first target Daredevil goes after. Stanley has 2 cameos in this movie, actually.
That's right, he does.
Yeah,
the second cameo.
Yeah, and
Well,
but yeah,
I mean, we really, we
like
really
a lot of times
stop
when we see Daredevil's senses, like, oh, sorry, Dom.
Well, when you stop to think, when you really sit down and we watch Daredevil, either theatrical or the director's cut, it's well, I want to say it's in a way, but it's a loose adaptation of Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, which is a five issue miniseries written by Frank Miller and illustrated by John Romita Jr.
Yeah, and also, yeah, just to go back more to Daredevil's senses, like one time when he tries to go after Bendis and yet, or no, not Bendis, Quesada. We do hear like the music hearing in the background. We just and it phases a lot of times in and out as it's supposed to be in the perspective of his hearing. Because again, it's always in his perspective. And while it may look cool on paper, because that's how Daredevil senses work, but a lot of times, it kind of feels like a bit messy. Though, because like even a lot of times it just like flickers, the lights are just flicker on and off. Yeah, it's just a lot of times the lights would just flicker. It looks like it was just like someone could be epileptic in here. Come on.
No, he did that on his own. He like somehow he hit the one of the lights and suddenly that caused a strobe like effect. That's highly unrealistic too in itself.
Yeah.
Well, compared to
I meant like in the audiences, like when the audience is already watching that. Yeah.
So compared
that first
to
fight is kind of muddy.
Yes.
There's a lot wrong than just that strobe light effect. Like continuity is one. The geography is really off. So
maybe they just didn't understand how his powers
No.
work.
The positioning was kind of fucked. When it comes to action scenes, because one moment he'll be one spot, another moment he'll be another spot. Some people will repeat an action once or twice. I rewatched that scene. I was like, oh my goodness, wow.
And the music.
I remember this fight scene being bad. I've seen this fight scene so many times, and now looking at it as an adult, not having to understand the geography of an action scene. This is pretty bad. No wonder they did the strobe-like effect just to hide how bad it is.
Yeah, and the soundtrack.
I was going to get to that.
Yeah.
So grungy.
Yeah, early 2000s rock. In fact, one song, a Rob Zombie song, is called "The Man Without Fear," and it was specifically made for this movie. and it's
Yeah.
used, and it's only used in one scene. Can you guess what it is?
Freaking
forgot-
Bullseye riding on a motorcycle is also perfect for that.
Yeah, that's where the song was used.
Also, a freaking muddy scene in some ways,
Yeah.
especially with the CGI to account for as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, besides Rob Zombie, let's not forget Evanescence.
Oh
Oh
God!
yeah,
Don't
two
Yeah.
remind me.
Evanescence songs are in there.
Don't
Yes, that's-
remind me.
yeah, that didn't work. They
Just to
tried
play
to
up on
use
the edge factor because it's dark.
yeah, the music.
I will
See,
have
Evan-
That audience
You
is
know something?
dark.
I will have to thank Daredevil for introducing me to Evanescence. They did do a slight a sort of music video tribute to that movie. Had no Daredevil in it whatso fucking ever, but it still was cool.
You think the video was inspired by Daredevil?
Yeah,
I think I know what video you're
Mhm.
talking about. Yeah,
Bring Me to Life was
yeah,
that was the
yeah.
one.
Yeah, I mean, what? I mean, much like Wolf.
I watched that movie.
Thanks
I
to the
watched the music
movie.
video so many times, hoping to see at least something from Daredevil to show up, and never once was ever a clip from the movie featuring that. Because usually sometimes when they do a music video for the movie, they will always feature some clips into it, and that was like one of the first few music
For
videos that ties into a movie that had no feature of the movie in it.
for example, then we'll Kiss from a Rose by Seal for
Batman Forever.
Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Batman Forever.
Oh, that's so.
Also you two's like Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me, and
I like
that one was animated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, 2003 Daredevil. It's a mess. It's a beautiful
We
mess.
talked extensively about it.
Yeah,
Already
we talked
before the
extensively
Punisher.
about this out of all the other Marvel films.
Yeah.
By far more than Blade, actually. My God. Anyways, next one.
That's probably why we have to do a part 2 because there's much more to say on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get into
Well-
What movie we go into next?
the Punisher.
Yes, we get Tweedle in here. Now,
Alright.
I'm going to let you guys take this one over first before I get in there because the Punisher has never been one of my favorite characters, but I did see the movie. So I'm going to let you guys.
I've only heard
I
of
give
this
it a
movie.
chance.
I've only heard of this film, but I never really seen it. Weirdly enough, because I was never much like big into the Punisher. I've only seen him like maybe once or twice in my time growing up with a lot of Marvel superheroes. But I do know about the game that's the tie-in to the movie. But other than that, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, the game kind of is a pseudo sequel to the movie, kind of.
Is it really? I thought it was
One of
just a
the best
tie-in.
movie tie-ins.
Yeah, I thought
I
that
mean,
was
it does
just
tie
a
into the
tie-in.
movie, but it takes
Yeah.
place after the movie.
Okay. Wow.
Because the main villain is tied to one of the side characters. I don't know whether or not I should say what happens or not, or if we're not really going to bother with, or if we're not going to worry about spoilers.
I mean, we're talking about all the Marvel films, about a retrospect of all the early 2000s Marvel films, but yeah, we're
Okay.
specifically
Yeah,
focusing
so,
on.
in the movie, one of
Yeah.
the what's his name? John Travolta's character. Howard Sane, is that it? I think.
Mm.
Yeah,
Sane.
one of his sons, Tommy, I think. In the movie, the Punisher like sets up like an explosive, or because during an action scene, the character gets like stuck like over a desk and he can't move, and the Punisher comes in and straps an explosive to him so that if he moves, it will blow up. So he has to stay still for as long as possible. We don't see him die. We see the Punisher leave the room, and then we see the room explode. We don't see Tommy die. We don't actually see him. And in the PS2 game, Tommy then reappears as Jigsaw. Although now I
Right.
think about it, Tommy doesn't. When he appears as Jigsaw in that game, he's not from the beginning. It's kind of a reveal near the end of the game. Am I the only one that actually played the Punisher game?
I watched my cousin play it.
Yeah, I've only
Is it
seen
probably
them.
because I've played the game an absurd amount of times?
Didn't have an Xbox at the time.
Or a PS2?
I had PS2. I just didn't have.
Oh, you just didn't have the PS2 copy of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that game was fun. I mean, it even had cameos by other Marvel characters.
Let's get into the movie, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally,
most of my
Thomas,
knowledge
the
is about
Thomas.
the game.
as
I
we
only
like
saw
to-
the film like once or twice.
Personally, as we like to call it, the Thomas Jane Punisher, I like
Mhm.
this one way more than Warzone Punisher 2.
I have not seen Warzone. I've only seen the Thomas Jane one.
I will tell people to watch Warzone. I will never, ever, ever tell people to avoid Warzone. Warzone is not is not. I just did not like Warzone Punisher 2. I always prefer the Thomas Jane one, and it's mostly probably due to the fact that how grounded it was, and in a way
Yeah.
emotional to some extent. It kind of delved into Frank's pain, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, the movie did alter the Punisher's character a tiny bit.
A tiny,
But
he's a
not-
freaking federal agent.
Mhm.
No, I don't mean that
War
part. I
vet.
mean like the whole him as the Punisher. Because in the comics, Punisher is 100% zero doubt about the morality of what he does, or like anything to do with that. Like he's the Punisher. He knows what he is and he knows what he does, and he's 100% committed to that. And most adaptations of the Punisher, they tend to graft a bit of Wolverine's character and storylines onto him, mostly to make him more appealing to a general audience. Because I don't think general audience would necessarily want to watch a movie about a remorseless killer, like one that is essentially not too far off from like genuine serial killers.
You see, on this point, I need to say something.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
You're absolutely wrong. People do enjoy watching murderous psychopaths.
Well, ones that have absolutely no remorse, no regret.
Nobody
like,
cares.
100%
Like
committed
honestly,
to what they are.
nope, they don't care because, come on, the thing is, human nature. It's for them, for people who like that type of stuff. What it is, it's like a. There's two things. First, it's revenge porn. Second, it's more of a cathartic existence. They see this character as what they want to do, but they don't have either the balls or the skills or whatever it is. But they enjoy it nonetheless. You have Dexter. People yeah. Oh, I was just thinking of Dexter and Child of the Flower just mentioned him. You see,
Yeah.
I told you. So therefore, your point is completely wrong here, and not that I'm saying that you're wrong because you are
Yeah.
wrong or anything. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
people inherently murder, blood, and guts like this is a part of human nature. Sadly, it's not like we can get rid of it, but
Yeah.
you can only mitigate it by morality and by mostly religion. But again,
Yeah. Most adaptations of the Punisher, they do give him a little bit of humanity.
yeah,
When
when it
comic
comes
book
to
Punisher
children,
doesn't really have any
yeah,
humanity.
it's always when he comes. I remember even in the comic books, if he sees children or young women who are being either caught or trapped or something, he'll go out his way to save them, but while killing the bad guys. So he's not a complete psychopath who has no remorse. He is mostly
He's an aggressor, really.
he's more like he's like a worse version of Judge Dredd, because Judge Dredd follows the law. He's lawful, like literally. He's not good or evil. He is lawful, while the Punisher is more of a vengeful person or a vengeful spirit, you can say, bind with the sense of revenge of for the innocent and for himself and for the
Yeah, by
innocent
taking the
around him.
law into his own
Into his-
hands.
into
Yeah.
his own hands. Yeah. So he doesn't follow the law per se, but
I do find it
he-
strange that adaptations of the Punisher do tend to focus on him getting revenge. Like, I'm fine with that as like an early part of telling
Yep.
his story, but once
Yep.
that's out of the way, you're not necessarily supposed to keep coming back to him getting revenge.
Yeah, like,
'cause
if no one else
after
can
he's
do
gotten
it.
revenge, that's it. He's just doing this just because he feels he has to.
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
because nobody
like,
else can do it, basically.
Yeah, because, like, if no one else is actually going to do it, like, if no one in the law is going to do that, I'm going to do it myself.
Yep, that type of thing.
And that's what makes him pretty much the perfect anti-hero in the Marvel universe. Pretty much like a perfect hero generally in my book, because this is just basically what he is. Because the anti-hero archetype shows you what happens. It's a third extreme to an aspirational hero and a cathartic motivational hero. That's the third. The anti-hero is the third extreme for a hero. They're far from an aspirational, and they are cathartic, but they.
Yeah, that's why you pair up an anti-hero with a cathartic motivational hero.
Yeah.
And then you
like,
step up. Then you step it over, and you'd pair the cathartic motivational hero with the aspirational hero.
Yeah, and they are
kind of
driven.
Like stepping up a ladder of morality, I suppose.
Yeah, because like the Punisher, well, yes, he is a very cathartic character. He doesn't actually does this in order to become a hero. He does this out of vengeance.
Do y'all like Thomas Jane as Frank Castle?
Well, considering the first Punisher is the only one I've seen, I only have a frame of reference for his version of the Punisher, so I suppose, yeah, I do like his portrayal of the character, but then I can't really say, oh, but this one's better, because I haven't actually seen any of the other ones.
Well, the other
series.
Yeah, you haven't seen the Daredevil series when what's his name?
John Bernthal.
John Bernthal took him on.
Yeah. I have heard he's a really good portrayal, but since I've not seen it, I can't really judge that.
I was like both Berthal and Jane Lloyd, they were able to capture like Frank Castle's character very well.
I will say the actor who played him in Warzone did look just like he looked comic accurate.
Wait,
I'm kind of
of
torn on the costume though.
There's something.
Well, in War Journal, like he was portrayed by Ray Stevenson and not by Thomas Jane.
Wait, War Journal? Don't you mean Warzone?
I meant to say Warzone.
Okay, is this a case where you thought the right title, but it didn't come out as the right title?
Yeah.
Well, the point still stands. In Warzone, like Thomas Jane didn't reprise his role as the Punisher because like there were plans for a Punisher 2. However, they decided to make Warzone a reboot of the Punisher movie Punisher as a character for the film.
The thing about the Thomas Jane movie, going back to what Matthew and Tweedle have said, in that apartment building, I do like how he sort of protects the people in the building. They're sort of outcast misfits. You have what's her name? I forgot her name. Can't think nothing tonight. She's a tall blonde woman.
Rebecca Romaine.
Yeah, Rebecca Romaine is sort of it has an abusive spouse.
Spouse, you mean boyfriend?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Were they married? Anyway, she was an abusive spouse. She was better, and he could not stand that. So I do
with it.
Yeah, but the idea was he sort of became a protector of those people in their building. They sort of forgotten people in a way. They're kind of misfits sort of people. And
okay, Samantha Mathis was Maria Castle.
Yeah. His wife was murdered. But Rebecca Moraine's character was being abused. She was being abused, and like you said, he took the action to take care of the guy. So I did like
Even
people.
her fellow tenants was protecting her.
They were
Well,
protecting her to a
they came to
point.
they
Oh
came
yeah,
up
because
to
that
the
one girl with
castle
all the
to ask.
piercings, they like pulled them all out when they were trying to get information out of him, but he didn't say anything.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
That-
mean, oh yeah, go ahead, Twilight.
Oh, it's okay. I was just gonna say that that movie actually portrayed that there is good in people.
Yeah,
That
and I like.
these people that
No,
those
continue.
people were basically they were not his friends, and he's not there to make friends. Never was, and he even told them that in an indirect way. I think he said that. I don't remember, but he did help them. He helped the girl out, and I think he helped
Joan
them
was her
somewhat.
name.
Yeah, and because of that, they didn't realize that he's a good person. So when the mob was like looking for him, they didn't. They basically were being
Holy
tortured.
shit! Roy Schneider
And
played his dad.
oh yeah, I remember. He's like
Fucking Roy
Yes.
getting the
Schneider.
when he was getting the guns and stuff. Is like you go
Motherfucker had
left,
a
you go right.
damn. Motherfucker had
Shotgun.
a damn shotgun. Smile, you
Yeah. That part the story was painful to see.
Yes.
The first part,
Mm.
the loss
First
of
part.
his wife and child,
killed his
being
family.
And his
Just-
entire
Yeah.
extended
and
family.
then killed his entire extended family as well, which was kind of excessive, to say the least.
They just went
Yeah.
rolled up on him, just started shooting up everybody. Especially when, man, just oh, it's just heartbreaking to watch. Just how
Yeah.
methodically cruel they are.
Yep. And the worst one when they drove over his son and his wife.
They
That
didn't even
was
shoot him; they just ran him over.
that over.
Yeah.
That one was like, damn. I'm like, okay.
They were paying homage to Mad Max.
Yeah, they
I-
basically went.
I'm going to say it right now. They were paying homage to Mad Max.
That was way too much, man. Like, I get revenge and all that shit, but if the guy killed your son, you kill him, not his son, because you just perpetuate a cycle of revenge, and that's what literally
Frank wasn't
happened.
even the one that pulled the trigger.
Yeah,
The kid
it
got
was.
killed by other beings,
Yep.
and Howard Saint just went ballistic.
Yeah, because he's like, oh my god, my golden child, ah!" And his wife was the one who perpetrated this whole massacre. She's like, kill all of them.
Yeah, she was the
It's
one
like-
that.
And the funniest thing is, for her, she got the most fucked up ending at the end. It's
She
like
did.
she got the most deserving of endings, which is basically killed by her own lover. And how was it? Did he just choke her or shoot her or
No, he
something?
just
I
chucked
don't
her
No, he
ass
picked her up and threw her off the
know.
bridge.
Yeah.
He jumped her off
onto
the.
a train track.
Yeah, and the train was coming.
Because the
yeah.
movie wasn't so fucking
Yeah.
painful enough.
Yep,
Yes, it
yep.
wasn't enough.
I find that strange that Frank like did that.
No,
It's
no,
because he's
Howard
a
Saint
jealous
did
man.
that.
Yeah.
No, I mean like that Frank like
Orchestrated. He
yeah
orchestrated.
orchestrated the whole event so that he would like kill his own friend and like drive him to kill his own friend by making him think his friend is
big
sleeping with his
fat-
wife, but
Big
but
fat
omitting the fact
gave
that
him a
his friend is
chance
gay.
of them doing all that shit.
And he
Yeah.
was gay. That's the funny thing. Never
Yeah.
they,
His
they never
friend's gay, but he made him think
they-
his friend was actually sleeping with his wife.
they
Yeah.
never talked about the fact that like in this old movie there were gay characters in the
That
story
were evil.
that
Yeah.
were evil. They
Mhm.
never talk about this stuff. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
This is why
Exactly.
I fucking hate Hollywood right now, because every time they're talking about the diversity, like look at the fucking cast. It's so diverse. You have a fat cook, a boy, a young man who's like high and with piercings, a blonde victim girl, the one that has her was battered by her boyfriend. You had a giant Russian guy coming out of nowhere fighting Castle, and he fried his face. That was funny.
Yes, it was.
That was
That was
funny
funny.
because he was like wearing Waldo's clothing or something, like the blue strips. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like a Navy Russian or something. But
Oh man, the Russian fight will always be the highlight of
I'm pretty sure
that.
that was taken directly
Freaking
from the
Kevin
comic.
Nash.
was
It is
that?
a comic.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
Yeah,
book
He
was
exists.
taken directly from the
He
comic.
exists.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Russian exists.
And I mean, the Punisher. I mean, when this movie was made in 2004, like the Punisher was actually based on Year One, which was written by Dan Abnett and Andrew Lanning, and the miniseries Welcome Back, Frank, which was written by Garth Ennis. However, there were scenes from other Punisher stories that were incorporated in the film. So from Marvel Preview presents The Punisher #2, Marvel Super Action featuring The Punisher #1, War Zone, and War Journal.
Yeah, I think the Russian comes from Garth Ennis's run on the character, I think.
Welcome back, Frank.
Yeah, I think that's where that scene comes from. I'm not sure how much else of the film takes its influence from that comic, but I know that scene was from that.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Wolf, I gotta go because it's like 12:30 where I am
Yeah.
right now.
Take off.
Oh, and by the way,
Yeah.
12 day. By the way, 12 day. Love your icon.
Thank you. The reason why I got it is because you guys keep talking about JoJo, and I thought of using this icon because it looks nice. Plus, it's like a direct diss to that storytelling because this is the only true JoJo that should exist. Joseph the demon hunter, not fucking vampire hunter. Oh, I'll fight a vampire, get your ass eaten.
That's Jotaro.
Doesn't matter. They're all dead to me. The Joes
Whatever.
and plus, the show is gay.
No, it's not, and you know it.
No. I'm sorry.
Jeez,
No,
talking to an anime fan is like
Boy,
talking
go
to
to
a
bed.
fucking wall.
It's like
Okay,
it's
just okay.
it's a
12 day, 12 day.
flamboyant show, as you would say.
Negro, go to
Flamboyant.
bed.
Okay, 12 day, 12 day. We
Yes.
get it. We understand. But
Mm,
please, you can settle down now.
okay.
We're not gonna do this again. All right, let's get your 8 hours so you don't be sleep deprived.
Ah, yeah,
Yes,
you're
I'm
right.
looking
I
at
gotta
saying-
go. Anyways, I'll see you guys. Have yourself a wonderful night and snakes slithering out.
Well,
Talk
thank
to you
you for
later.
joining us, Tweedles.
Alright,
Hope
talk
to
to you
see you
later.
again.
12 day.
Damn it. My name is not Tweel. God damn it. Damn it.
12 day. Oh, okay.
Okay. Anyways,
What?
all right. So yeah, is that all we could talk about the Punisher before we move on to? I actually do want to talk about a bit of the Fantastic Four before we get to Ghost Rider eventually.
I don't see
Yeah,
why not.
I want to talk about Fantastic Four as
Well,
well.
I mean, besides the Watch of Corman Fantastic Four movie, just the Fantastic Four from
Look,
from the
goddammit,
early
who
mid
the leader here?
2000s.
I have a suspicion there's probably at least two things about the Fantastic Four movies that me and Final are probably going to agree on.
Mhm.
One
I
of them
can't
is
wait
very obvious. The other one, I'm not sure if we would agree on or not. But I'm going to wait until Final actually says what he thinks.
Go on.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
All right.
so
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so the thing that I think we are going to agree on is Galactus is not a space fart cloud.
Yep.
Well,
We ain't talking about the
that
damn
happened.
sequel.
That
other
happened.
thing
Well,
that
that happened in 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's the obvious one that we would agree on. I don't know if we will
Sure
agree
as
on
hell
this
ain't
one
no
or not, but I'm
energy
going to say it
construct
anyway.
within the fart cloud
These
either.
movies don't quite understand Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
True. I
Yeah.
all agree on that one. Yes.
Yeah,
They hired a
they don't,
certain
and
pretty boy to play him for one.
they.
Yeah. I found it
I mean,
weird that
what
they
they should
gave
have.
Doom lightning powers. It's like,
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with Doom having like lightning. I mean, he could use magic, and lightning is a thing that he can do, but it's not a power. It's like
Yeah,
as a
that's not
it's-
all he could do. He has other types of magic. He's also very excellent at science.
Yeah, no, that's what I was getting at. The lightning part of when Doom uses lightning, it's not magic, and it's not a superpower that he has. The lightning comes from like the technology in his suit that allows him to shoot lightning. But the
Those
movies
stories
just
don't have no
simplified it
idea
to
what
he
the
has
hell
lightning
is.
powers.
Well, not well. That's very limited because like with his stick in the movie, it's more of interacting with electricity and technology.
Yeah. And for
Yeah.
some reason now, like his skin is metal in the
Yeah, his
film.
skin is like partially covered in metal or whatever the hell that was. I don't understand that part.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially since later on he
His
just put
armor was
on the suit
made.
anyway.
Yeah, his armor was man-made, and
Hmm.
his mask is permanently attached to him because it's burned on his face.
Yeah. Although, except there are parts throughout the comic where he
Well,
does remove the mask.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
kind of vague on how damaged his face is, because sometimes
How the hell y'all
sometimes
gonna
it's
get to
really
the
damaged,
good
and then other
part
times it's
straight
not as
away
bad.
like this?
Wait, say that
I-
again?
Y'all done skipped 5 pages on that shit.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Child of
Uh,
Flower. I agree with
You
you.
don't
Y'all
just go to Dr. Doom straight away. You go to the 4 first before
We know.
you go to the Doom.
Yeah, we
Get
know.
ahead of y'all selves.
Like, yeah.
Y'all want
Oh
me to
yeah.
give you some
well,
lubricant too?
Speaking of, yeah, this
so
is the thing.
so
That,
now, Wolf.
So yeah, they never get Doctor Doom right at all because he's not. They don't portray Doctor Doom is one of my favorite villains. Period.
Mhm.
Especially in comics, like he's not like everyone else would say like Thanos was already like Marvel's biggest threat on a galactic level, yeah, but Doctor Doom is actually the biggest threat to the entire Marvel universe, or not? Yeah, everywhere around the Marvel universe, because he's interacted with pretty much the biggest hits, the big pillars of the Marvel universe, pretty much. And they just do him dirty always.
Yeah.
And speaking
better
of
than-
doing something dirty, they don't portray the Fantastic Four as a family.
Yeah.
This is always my biggest gripe. Like the original Fantastic Four that was made just to keep the rights of the Fantastic Four.
Oh, the
somehow-
90s Roger Corman film.
Yeah, somehow that's the most faithful Fantastic Four to a fault almost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even then,
I
Well,
they
feel
don't
like,
that
I
portray
feel like
Dr. Doom
these
right.
Fantastic Four. Jesus Christ.
that as well excuse me, that as well as the Fantastic Four animated series, which was part of the original Marvel animated
Yeah,
universe,
that is a
which
much
which is
better
pretty
Fantastic
much
Four.
well, not only that, it's a straight up adaptation of the original Jack Kirby and Stan Lee run of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Like
The
each
animated
like
show
each
uses the white and blue suits instead of the
Oh,
black
yeah.
and blue.
Yeah,
I know the
Oh,
black
like,
and blue are
each
the classic suits, but I tend to prefer the white and blue suits. That's
yeah,
just a
because that
personal
stands out
preference
a
for
lot
me.
more, really.
like each what on not only that, but each episode showed like it's a straight up like it's almost a page to page adaptation of each issue from volume 1 of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Do y'all
Actually, there's
still
one thing I want
prefer
to say
Chris
about
Evans as
the actual
Captain
main
America?
Fantastic Four themselves in these movies.
Yeah,
Now, well, Chris Evans, he was actually not bad as Johnny Storm.
He was not bad as I agree. He was not bad. I'll get in here on this one. He wasn't bad as Johnny Storm, but I think Captain America suits him better.
yeah.
That's just me.
I mean, yeah, he does. Yeah, he's not much all that bad at playing the hotshot that Johnny
Yeah.
Storm really is. But
Yes.
There are definitely some clips from these movies involving Johnny Storm that Wolfie can definitely play, with like Chris Evans, that I'm sure Leia would find appealing.
Wake up.
I'm very curious
Yes.
if Wolfie knows
Hey,
which clips
rise
I'm
and shine,
referring
big boy.
to.
How you
I know
feeling?
exactly what you're
Where
referring
am
to. Yes,
Back on Earth, we're
Kaon.
in quarantine. Victor's medical facility. Me, Sue. Oh, they're fine. Everybody else is fine. What's wrong with me? I swear to you, Ben, they've done everything humanly possible. The best plastic surgeons in the world are here, Ben. You had the best. Give me that mirror. I don't think that's a good idea. They said the shock alone. I said, give me the goddamn mirror. Okay, Ben, just be strong. Unfortunately, the doctor just couldn't do anything to fix your face.
Michael Chiklis,
Well,
though,
I wasn't thinking
he was
that.
actually perfect. He was actually the perfect choice to play Ben Grimm because personality-wise, he was actually accurate.
yeah, he actually
Yes.
does play Benjamin Grimm so well. He knows about him too.
Yeah, I feel like the casting for the main Fantastic Four in these movies is pretty solid, and
Yeah,
the characterization is surface level, almost about there. I feel like they kind of missed the deeper parts of the Fantastic Four's characters.
yeah.
They kind of
Just
get the
Yeah,
surface level
like
right,
this.
but like anything deeper, and it's not quite there.
Like if it was delayed, if it was delayed like a bit further, then they would have like adjusted the script so they would be more comic book accurate.
Yeah.
Also, instead of having Victor as the first villain, just have the first movie be a straight up adaptation of the first issue where they face off the Mole Man.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They should use Mole Man first.
yeah. They always
And
go Doctor
save
Doom in all
Galactus
those
for like
movies.
a third or fourth movie.
Yeah, Doctor Doom is always. Yeah, I get it. Doctor Doom is the rival to Reed Richards.
Yeah,
In
he's
fact,
the
that's what.
iconic Fantastic Four villain, so it's kind
Yeah,
of like
the iconic villain in the Marvel universe, arguably.
Yeah, but there are the FF they have other iconic villains as well besides Victor.
Yeah,
It's just these
But-
more prominent.
like
popular.
Ronan the Accuser and the
Yeah, if-
Skrulls.
Yeah.
It's because
You're right,
Marvel.
Matthew.
It's because Marvel Studios did not go cosmic until Guardians of the Galaxy. And now,
Yeah.
now that they're gone cosmic, it's too late. Now they're mishmashing, cherry picking things that shouldn't even fit with other superheroes because these supervillains are not supposed to be tied to these superheroes.
Oh yeah, and Fantastic Four have Annihilus as well.
Mm-hmm. Also Puppet Master. He's one of the most recurring villains of the Rogues Gallery.
Oh
And
yeah.
again,
I mean, his daughter is in the films.
Oh yeah.
You gotta remember,
Kind of
guys,
weird
that
that
they
she's in the
couldn't
films,
acquire
but
the
he's not.
license.
Wait, say that again, Wolfie?
You guys kind of gotta remember that they don't acquire the licenses to use those characters at times. That's usually
Well,
oh yeah, this
yes,
bullshit.
excuse.
Yeah.
It,
That's
Actually,
why
Oh,
I think
Bob,
the
actually-
villains did.
Hiding a
Didn't
lot of
most
characters
the
behind a fucking
villains fall
paywall,
under the same
go
license
stick
as the
it.
character?
Fuck you.
it's the
Yeah,
reason why
how
they
many so
use-
far?
Like, I
Okay,
don't
I
care
barely
about
heard
Joe
any of
Rights.
that.
I'm just gonna get those
No.
characters in my story. Fuck you.
It's the reason why they use
And
they
fuck
use
your
Bay Ray
paywall.
Bill. It's the reason why they use Bay Ray Bill instead of Silver Surfer in the animated Planet Hulk movie.
Ah, okay.
One,
Oh,
I
yeah,
listened to the commentary. One of the
Yeah,
reasons
and that's why
they had-
Namor never appeared in the Fantastic Four movies because he has a separate copyright to them.
Mhm.
Because his copyright is with Universal, same as Hulk, I think.
Yeah.
Well, mostly the casting for the first one, I think, was pretty solid. I think they cast pretty well. I think Johann Guthrie was well cast as Mr. Fantastic. I think they fleshed him out a little more in the second one with flesh with.
And also,
the
why
things
did they
struggling
have to
with-
like two instances with Sue Storm getting straight down into her underwear naked in a lot of instances in goofy hijinks in both films?
Well,
I mean, her
they had to
clothes
please
don't
the young
turn
man.
invisible with her, so I suppose that's the only way. And it's Jessica Alba, which I'm not complaining about
Yes.
that, but
Oh, I
Yeah.
am.
yeah, I can't think of any other reason, honestly.
You're complaining, Wolf?
Because if they just
this was
found
done-
like another stupid reason than giving Sue Storm that stupid as hell skiddily clad outfit with that boob window thing, they succeeded.
Oh, you mean that?
Oh.
Was that a '90s
Four
design? Was that
window.
a
Yeah,
It was
no,
during,
it was 90s.
John. Yeah, it was. I think it was during when John Byrne was doing Fantastic Four.
The
Yeah, it was
Chlorage.
the four-shaped boob window.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he had an exposed midriff and part of her
chlorage.
legs were exposed as well, I think.
yeah.
I mean, was it like all just multiple gaps at different points, like on her arms and her legs and across her waist and everything?
I ain't got no problem with
I
that.
I think it was also the shoulders as well.
I think it was just
John
the
Byrne?
midriff and the boob window, probably.
John Byrne was a naval man and a shoulder man. Good to know. I love a woman.
I mean, I
Okay.
can't blame
I
him.
do
Well,
love
I
her naval.
Getting back on track.
Jessica
The
Alba
casting
not a
choice.
good casting choice. I'm sorry.
Say that
I
again,
still
Wolf.
stand by that shit. She ain't no good casting choice. Jessica Alba. Hell no. Never
Who
liked
would you
her.
cast as Sue Storm then?
You know, you got a good question there.
at that
No, I can't
time.
really put my finger
I
on
think-
who I would
Look,
cast.
she can work. Look, she can actually work as Sue Storm or in Fantastic
Hell
Four.
to the no.
Let me finish.
That bitch was there for eye candy and iconography. She was coming off a Dark Angel at that time. That's why she was
Yeah.
there.
So then again, who would you think would play Sue Storm?
Of that time. This was 2007, right?
No,
no, that was,
2004.
The first
that
film
was Rise
was
of the Silver Surfer.
2004, 2005, I think. And then the second one was like 2007, I think.
Yeah, Rise of the Silver
2005.
Surfer is
And the
2007.
Who was the it
And the
girl
actress
in
doesn't have to have
2005?
blonde hair. You can dye. You can pick an actress and dye her hair blonde. She doesn't necessarily have to
Or
have
wear a wig.
blonde hair. Yeah, or wear a wig.
Who was
Okay,
the
what-
it girl? Who was it?
Who had it
There was a
going on?
number
I'm
of
thinking
it
myself.
girls in 2005.
Okay, everyone's talking over each other. I can barely hear what everyone's saying.
Hey, one at a time. All right.
I'm thinking as I'm talking. Damn it!
Okay.
I was just saying myself.
It girl of 2005 around that time. It could have been. It probably would have been a toss up between Sarah Michelle Gellar, or she was at the tip. She was at the edge of my mind when I thought this up. Edge of my mind.
Are you talking about the miniseries or the cinematic one?
No, the quote unquote it girl of the times. Who was the most talked about female actress during 2005?
I have to admit,
Who
Sarah
was
Michelle
big?
Gellar was at. Sarah Michelle Gellar would be at the top of my list. That comes to mind. Is Sarah Michelle
It'd be
Gellar?
toss up between her
Same.
and maybe can't be Famke because she was still Jean.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Kristen Crook from Smallville. But she's too young next to Eon.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
No, it'd probably be that chick who played Superman's cousin, the Smallville Supergirl chick. She'd be my next.
I can't think of her
don't know the
name.
name of the actress, but I do know who you're referring to.
It'd be her.
Vander who?
I believe. No, not Chloe. Not Chloe.
No,
think,
no,
sorry.
no. That was the name. No, that was the last name of the Smallville Supergirl actress. Her last name was Vanderhoof.
Okay, her. And
Yeah.
maybe.
You think Nicole Kidman might pull Sue Storm?
Oh hell yeah!
Really? I've never
hell
thought Nicole Kidman was okay. I never thought she was a good actress, but
I probably
whatever.
pick her too.
Okay.
She was willing to like the invasion kind of complexion. She wouldn't. She ain't what she like now. She would probably, and she wouldn't outage Eon either.
Right.
I'm trying to look for an actress of that time that did not look too young or way too.
She was
damn
famous in
old.
2005.
Yeah, she was. But what I'm saying is she'll be in between right there. Like she wouldn't outage him, nor was she underage him either. Now if I put Sarah Michelle Gellar, she would underage him hard.
Yeah,
Like,
because she's
still
short too.
I ain't worried about the damn height. I'm not that worried about the height.
Well, all right. Well, if you want,
I got one more. I got one more. Six from Battlestar Galactica, the remake.
Wait, Katie Sackhoff?
No, not that's Starbucks, dude. I said 6. You know, the Cylon designated 6.
Yeah. I know.
Although I never watched
her.
the Battlestar Galactica remake. I
Guess I have to give him a
vaguely
visual.
know
Then.
who you're talking about.
Guess I have to give Matthew a visual then.
Yeah.
Oh, Matthew, you got him. You got him going. You got him
Well, it's
going,
a good
Matthew.
thing
You
I
open
like
up
blondes.
Yeah. Yes, it's a good thing that you
If
do.
you like blondes or not, I'm just gonna give you a visual anyways.
He's gonna give a visual no
I'm
matter
pretty sure
what.
I know who you're talking about though, but I'm not really familiar, so I can't really
Give
say
the
if that's
best
a,
video.
I can't really go one way or the other on that, honestly.
Man, you so damn picky.
Wait,
Alright.
is
It's
Battlestar
six.
I'm
Galactica the
sorry, I
thing that
like-
like put her on the map, or was she like well known before that?
Probably put her on the map. Probably. I didn't see her in any other media afterwards though. But she was the it girl of that series. Like everybody talks about
Yeah.
Starbuck, but the media talked about 6 a lot.
Yeah, whenever I see images of that Battlestar Galactica series, it's usually her rather than Starbuck that I see images of.
Exactly. Matthew knows. Matthew knows
Yeah.
what's up.
Although because I've not seen it, sometimes I did end up getting confused between the two because they're both blonde.
You don't even hear shit about Boomer. Boomer's hot though. That's the thing. She a hot Asian and all, but you hardly ever hear anybody talk. You don't hardly ever hear the media talk about Boomer that much.
Okay, you're going
So-
deep into Battlestar Galactica. You're losing me.
Oh, actually,
And you're also going on a tangent where we should sort of stay on focus.
yeah, because I was about to
Yeah.
bring this up. So we have mentioned that it's a pretty on point casting for the main Fantastic Four, pretty on point.
However, what would have helped it is if it had a better script.
Yeah, but there's actually one other cast member that is actually perfect. That's actually in the sequel. Doug Jones is the Silver Surfer.
What's the
Badass.
physical actor for the Silver Surfer?
Yeah.
Wait, what do we
Shame
think
they
as
get a
Lawrence
voice, huh?
Fishburne as the voice?
Yeah. No, Lawrence Fishburne, he was the voice.
No, I mean, what do
Yeah,
we think of him as the voice,
All
rather than
you
having
know
Doug
is
Jones
at
voice the
end.
character as well as perform it?
I like Lawrence doing the voice. I like Lawrence Fishburne doing the voice. I do. I have to admit to that. Yes,
Lauren Rad.
I do. I like his voice.
By the way, you're looking at Caprica 6. That's my Sue Storm.
Yeah, I can see her as Sue Storm.
Yeah,
I can see
I
her
can
as-
as well.
I don't know. It feels more like a Emma Frost than a Sue Storm.
Oh, Final has a point
Actually, yeah, I
also.
can also see her as Emma Frost.
Yeah, I do. I can see her that as well.
They got a point.
Let me give you a closer
Yeah.
look.
Yeah, she can pass for Emma.
Nah,
I mean, hey,
she's Sue.
yeah, that is more Sue Storm, but yeah, it's either her or Nicole Kidman that can pretty much play. I thought would actually do good as Sue Storm. But anyway, yeah, Silver Surfer. The casting for Silver Surfer is badass. I will admit.
Yeah.
Yes, I do like Doug Jones did a great job doing the physical work for him, but I think Lawrence Fishburne's voice pulls it off. I like the sound of his voice. It has a old wise wisdom to it that you need for the Silver Surfer, I think.
Yeah.
Well, also he carried the gravitas of being a reluctant herald for Galactus, just like in the original storyline involving him and the World Eater.
Yeah.
Actually, now I think about it, Lawrence Fishburne's like voice performance syncs up to Doug Jones's lips really well.
Oh yes.
I don't
that
know
is
if
a
they did
hard
something
feat
special
to fucking do.
I don't know if
really
there was
is.
something
You're
special
right.
to accomplish that, or if they just timed it right. I have no idea. But
they probably timed it right because Kamen Rider Deno did pretty much the same thing when, what's his name? The main character in Deno, I forgot what's his name, but they had to sync up with the voice of the Imagine, which are the main monsters of the show. There are four of them that actually, or a few of them that actually rebelled and actually are fighting against the other Imagine for the sake of humanity. And they actually sunk up with the human voices so well just to make it sound like they're actually possessing the humans, the human host they're in. It is so perfect.
It's like lightning in a bottle. It's very hard to do, but if you work hard and pull it, it can be pulled off. But you really got to work to match it right. You're right.
Yeah.
If you can get it right, it can work beautifully. But you're right. It's hard to pull off. You really got to get the two to work together as one, and that's not easy all the time.
Oh yeah. Now we're gonna talk about Ghost Rider. Just take Colin Farrell's Bullseye and amplify it to 11, and that's Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider.
You mean I can't talk?
Wait,
I don't know.
Isn't Nicolas Cage more reserved in the first one, and it's the second one where he goes a little more nuts?
Yeah. That'd be spirit. That'd be Spirit of Vengeance.
Yeah.
I think the primary Nick Cage moment from the first film was when he first transformed into Ghost Rider.
Yeah, that's actually his performance as Ghost Rider. In fact, funny story. I have a friend who is a huge fangirl for Nicolas Cage. She loves Nicolas Cage. In fact, she even has a cosplay of Nicolas Cage as they did as she actually just had one of the masks for Nicolas Cage as one of the memes. I forgot which one it was, but she absolutely loves Nicolas Cage. She absolutely, even when I imagine she watched the recent film Renfield that he was in as Dracula. Yeah. I imagine she loved that. But yeah, I imagine she loved this movie too because of Nicolas Cage.
Get to the point.
I'm telling you the story about Nicolas Cage.
I do like the fact that for Ghost Rider, they actually used an X-ray of Nicolas Cage's skull for the Ghost Rider, like the actual skull of Ghost Rider. Yeah, they actually used an X-ray of Nicolas Cage's skull.
Yeah, they did. And
Nicolas Cage actually can summon fire and light himself on fire on command. He doesn't do it often, though.
I like
what also helps with his movie is Nicolas Cage. Like he is a comic book nerd, and actually he's actually familiar with Ghost Rider. Like before he was chosen to portray the character in the movie.
Oh, because he's a whole comic book nerd. I mean, that's why he's called Nicolas Cage, because it comes from Luke Cage.
Ah.
Well, that
and also
that
he named his son Kal-El, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yes, so true. That explains his that explains his performance in the film, because
I always hear it as he named his son Kal-El rather than Clark.
I'd say that's a rumor.
I will give him credit. I do like that he put 100% of himself in this movie. It's probably why I enjoy it. That explains it now. That explains his performance, because there is just so much passion and energy into Johnny Blaze. And I do like when that whole performance of him turning into the skull and he's just doing that whole thing. I'm going to give him credit for that.
That's why I called it the Colin Farrell's Bullseye, because that's literally Nicolas Cage's movie. It's just Colin Farrell's performance as Bullseye and his transformation in Ghost Rider, and his performance when he just starts acting like an animal in Spirit of Vengeance when he's Ghost Rider. That's Nicolas Cage's performance.
The young actor who played young Blaze to be. I wish they would have stuck with him.
Yeah.
To the whole film.
I find it I find it very interesting that in the first Ghost Rider, you know, the actress playing Roxanne.
Eva Mendes.
Yeah, Eva Mendes. I like that the young version of Roxanne, the actress they got, actually looks like a young version of Eva Mendes. I don't know how they manage that, but that is a very cool detail.
That's very hard to do, but if they do it, it does work. It was the same thing in somebody's dog. Oh, you jumped for a minute there. X-Men: The Last Stand.
Dog, or did you just make a noise?
No, that was Dom. That came from Dom.
Yeah, it was like an X-Men: The Last Stand. They found an actress that looked like, looked like young Jean Grey. If you notice the beginning of X-Men: The Last Stand, when they go to the Grey's house and they meet Jean Grey's family, the mother, they said they were lucky to find an actress from Canada that looked like she could be the mother of Jean Grey. And they really like that. Look like something just so it's not always easy, but when they do look for it and they find them, they do to catch them on. But I do agree with you. I like how she looked like that, and the young man looked like a young Johnny Blaze. So they got two good actors to be the young version of them.
I'll admit that. Yeah, can we just all admit that that Ghost Rider actor looks fucking cool in those movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. I didn't know much about him until I saw the film, but I heard of him, and yeah, I've seen him in the cartoons and everything, but not really much of the origin story. And I gotta admit, I rather liked the film. A lot of people didn't, but like, no, I kind of like the way this film went. Because
Which
again,
aspect for Ghost
finger
Rider do you
pointing
prefer?
throughout
The
this
one
whole damn
where
movie.
the first movie where he looks like a clean skeleton, or the second film where he looks more like a skeleton that's been covered in ash and charcoal?
And that would be Spirit of Vengeance.
No, I mean, which of those two aesthetics for Ghost Rider do you prefer?
Oh, the
I'm
clean.
gonna prefer the first
I
one.
prefer the clean skull.
Yeah, I just prefer the clean skull.
me too.
Yeah.
The second movie
Spirit
still
of
got a lot of
Vengeance.
control.
Spirit of Vengeance. I'm partial to the first one. Spirit of Vengeance is not that bad in design.
Yeah.
It's just that Spirit of Vengeance came off as we just wanted to go nuts with the powers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good way of saying it.
There.
Yeah,
That's
they just had a field day. Just said like, fuck it, go for it. We can do whatever we want. It's just
Have a piss fire out in a scene that doesn't even fucking matter. That's just not filler. Sure.
Ghost Rider can fire chains out of his body.
Yeah, the second one I didn't like because it was just absolutely out of control.
I
It's
didn't
like
like the way.
they just went crazy.
However, I don't mean to cut into you, Lay. However, I did not like the way how the bike looked in the second one. I always prefer the first movie's bike. They custom made that damn bike for that fucking movie, and you telling me you couldn't use it in Spirit of fucking Vengeance to keep the consistency?
Well, what was consistent for when they made the sequel is they continue to incorporate more of Danny Ketch's storylines for Volume 2 of Ghost Rider instead of utilizing Johnny's storyline. Well, not Johnny's storyline, but from Johnny's time as Ghost Rider from the first volume.
Yeah.
That was one of the critiques for the Ghost Rider duology is they were using more of Danny Ketch's stories and less of Johnny's.
Though I will say, the Ghost Rider from Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., chef's kiss.
Wait, the Johnny appearance or the Robbie Reyes when he turns into Ghost Rider?
Robbie Reyes. Jesus Christ, that skull looks great. The fire effects look so damn good too.
Yeah, he was actually Robbie was used well in the TV show.
I'm getting off track. I'm just in love with Robbie Reyes.
Look, to finally put a pin on this.
Do you prefer him as like a traditional Ghost Rider rather than the look that he has in the comics?
Yeah, not only that, but he was utilized better in the TV show than how he is used in the comic books, which is a shame. But to get back to the movie.
Dora the Explorer.
It's okay.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
It's not me this time.
Yeah, it's not me either. I have
it's not me. My mic's muted.
Yes, I'm not in my bedroom. I'm not in my bedroom.
Watch either Dora the Explorer, Jake in the Neverland Pirates.
Look, see, that's my TV back there. It's off. The only other TV is these ones right here in front of me.
To do? Y'all trying to relive y'all childhood years?
No, mate, there's no other TV or anything.
It's actually an anime, and second, it's neither of those two.
Oh, Dom, Rolf, it was anime. Poor Dom. Well, why do you fight it?
It's Dragon. For your information, it's Dragon Pilots.
Oh, holy shit! I gotta catch up on the anime.
But however, that's beside the point.
Yeah, that's why I like the clean look on the Ghost Rider in the first movie because, well, not bad on the burnt skull, but why does the leather jacket have to look like it's tarred?
I mean, it is. If you look very closely, you can see it bubbling.
Yeah, but I don't think
I like
they need
the fire effects here, though. more so.
Well,
in the
yeah.
first one.
Yeah.
And
I guess if we could take the two designs and fuse them together and have only the good bits of both designs.
Mhm.
Hmm.
We'll cover that in Thursday.
yeah.
Yeah. I found it weird that the Ghost Rider film has Mephisto, but doesn't call him Mephisto. Has him. Actually, I don't know what they call him. Now. I know the direct in like the extended version of the film, they actually call him Mephisto.
Well,
in the
they call
theatrical cut, they don't call him that. I don't know what they call him.
Spirit of Vengeance. They called him Warwick instead of Mephisto.
Yeah.
That is so weird because Marvel never seems to bring in Mephisto when he should be. When he should be
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
They call him Mephistopheles in the first one. I did not
I
like
think,
the
isn't
actor
that
who
only
played
in the
Blackheart, though.
isn't that only like the extended version where they actually say his name?
No, the theatrical they always called him Mephistopheles.
You know, I don't remember that bit. Because in the bit
They've
when
always-
the those
He said
elemental
his name.
guys,
He said his name to Johnny, and they always whenever he's around, even the demons bring him up. What about
Yeah.
Mephistopheles?
yeah, I'm not a
Don't
fan of how
ever
Blackheart looks in this
mention
film,
that
or the
name.
first one at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Why
well,
they couldn't have made him look like comic
Blackheart.
book Blackheart, I don't understand. They were
Well,
already using CGI on him. Why not just have him actually look like Blackheart?
yeah. I mean, it would be great having him be comic book accurate. However, again, he's more of a villain for Danny Ketch and not Johnny Blaze.
Yeah.
Mm.
Instead they went with a Blackheart that looks more like Edward Cullen from Twilight.
Yeah.
I thought. Wait, in the first one, I thought that was Nightmare.
No.
No, it's Blackheart.
That was
But
Blackheart.
they say his name multiple times in the film.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He could have. Well,
I don't actually remember what the names of his elemental minions are, though.
in the movie,
Although I do like the way Ghost Rider takes each of them out.
I never did.
I do like that. I like
far
those.
too damn easy.
Of him killing the demons.
I don't necessarily mean like how quickly that. I mean just the general.
Yeah, I do.
Like the way
I do like the creative ways they do it, but Jesus Christ, these are supposed to be the fucking elemental demons that are supposed to be a legend, and you fucking wipe them out in minutes.
Yeah.
Like fuck me. They talk so much about arrogantly and shit, thinking they can take on the devil's freaking bounty hunter, and they still get their fucking asses kicked.
Yeah.
It's because the CGI budget was blown on the effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't
I find it funny that Nicolas Cage in a previous movie had like a dream about what was it, a dream or a vision or something of like a child being hit by a truck, and then in this movie he's hit by a truck. I don't know if that was an intentional thing or if that's complete coincidence. No one's seen the Nicolas Cage Wicker Man.
I did see that.
At a random point, he has a vision where he's like the child that he's looking for, and then suddenly a truck just comes out of nowhere and hits the.
I forgot how they went. Oh wait, that was in the movie?
No, okay, so in the Wicker Man, there's because he's looking for a child and he goes to the island, but while he's there on the ferry, he like has some sort of hallucination or vision of like the child he's looking for on the ferry with him. And like he then sees, and then suddenly a truck just comes out of nowhere on the ferry and hits the child. And then in Ghost Rider, one of the villains like drives a truck right into Ghost Rider.
Oh,
and I don't know if the crew behind Ghost Rider added that scene because of like the same thing in like Wicker Man, or because it's Nicolas Cage in both films, or if that's just a complete coincidence that happened. I honestly have no idea. Either way, I do find it hilarious.
Yeah. In fact, wait, didn't Johnny became Ghost Rider because of when his soul merged with Zerathos? Was it?
That is the comic book origin, but the movie doesn't mention any of that.
It's a deal with the devil
until Spirit of Vengeance.
Yeah, then Spirit of Vengeance brings Spirit of Vengeance brings in the I don't know if you'll call it a retcon, but like, I know later on the whole thing with Zeraphos is sort of retconned into being an angel of vengeance rather than a demon. And the Spirit of Vengeance movie goes with that.
Well, in the movie, he makes a deal with the devil to spare his father's life, and that's
because his father has cancer.
Yeah,
the first movie omits the part about the fact that it's the demon Zeraphos is bonded to him, and that's how he becomes Ghost Rider.
What's crazy?
Whenever time you see them on FX, you always get the director's cut version of them or the extended cut versions of them.
Interesting.
These movies are heard by executive mailing, where you see them in the theater, you lambast them, but then when you actually get around to seeing the full version of them, you actually see things are making more sense in context. Now take or leave whether you still like that either change your mind about them or change your enjoyment or lack of enjoyment to enjoyment of those movies.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes either way. But have you guys noticed that of all the movies that we've been talking about, except for the Tim Story Fantastic Four, Daredevil, Ghost Rider, sometimes Blade as well, have extended deleted scenes or extended scenes now refitted into the later re-releases.
Oh yeah, I noticed.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Even
I noticed.
there's a scene where Blaze, like the scene between Blaze and his dad talking about Roxanne, about the prospect of him continuing his Daredevil career.
I can't remember it word for word, but
I was gonna say something about the Ghost Rider movie, but then I forgot what I was gonna say, and then you went on this whole tangent. And now that whatever I was gonna say is just completely gone now.
Well, it will come back to you if you.
Yeah. It will more likely come back to me after the stream is finished, and there's no real point in me remembering anymore.
Well, if you join us again on Thursday, since this is a part 2, if you want to bring it up then, I wouldn't mind hearing it. It might be something that's interesting.
The demon's name.
I guarantee I won't remember it by Thursday unless I remember and then write down what I was going to say. Then there'll be a chance I'll actually be able to say.
Okay.
Yeah, you were saying something, Wolfie?
Was Gracil and Wallow.
Oh, what, for Blackheart's minion or his elemental minions?
Gracil, Wallow, Abigor.
These are the demons from the first film?
Yeah, Blackheart's minions. You know, the sand guy, the wind guy, and the water guy.
Yes, okay. I didn't know what their two names were.
With their powers combined, they summon Captain Planet.
The Earth one was called Gressel, the Water one was Wallow, and the Wind one was Abigor. He only said their names.
I have no idea if they were characters from the comics or not.
I'm surprised.
But wait, who's the one that who's basically can make anything rot by contact in the second movie?
That would be you mean the pale skinned dude that Mephisto gives the power to decay stuff?
Yeah,
I actually don't remember his name.
Coming right up.
That
because I'm not sure if that is actually an existing character. Actually, that's from the comics. Or hopefully made for the movie.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with Ghost Rider's extended villains. Mephisto and Blackheart are the only ones I know about.
Since you brought that guy up, Blackout, he is a character from the comic books, and once again, much like
is that his name?
Yeah, Blackout, and much like Blackheart, he is a Danny Ketch villain for when he became Ghost Rider.
I mean, Danny Ketch is in that movie, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
although he's not Ghost Rider.
Yeah, because that.
I think he has a blue flame, doesn't he?
Yep.
What?
Danny Ketch has like a blue flame when he's Ghost Rider, isn't it?
Later, but his flame was orange, much like his brother Johnny.
Okay. Although I do I think at the end of the Spirit of Vengeance, Johnny Blaze's flame turns blue. I think.
Yep.
Which I feel like is a reference to Danny Ketch.
Yeah. Like I said in the Ghost Rider duology, they're adapting more of Danny Ketch Ghost Rider storylines more
Oh
so.
yeah, Phantom Rider even made an appearance in the first movie.
Oh yeah, Carter Slade.
Yes.
Yeah, he was the original Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I guess you could call him the.
Well, they also
would we call him Golden Age Ghost Rider or Silver Age Ghost Rider? I think the original Carter Slade, I think he appeared in like the 60s, I think. But I think an earlier version of Ghost Rider as a different identity was like a late Golden Age character, I think.
Well,
I'm not sure if he was anywhere in the
he
Golden
wasn't
Age.
like super. He was like vaguely supernatural, and then Carter Slade came around as like a somewhat revamp of the character, and then obviously a little bit later on, then he was revamped into Johnny Blaze.
Carter Slade, yes, he is the original Ghost Rider, who was referred to as the Phantom Rider, like during his day.
Yeah.
But he made his debut in Ghost Rider #1 in 1967. So that's still during the Silver Age.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there was a Ghost Rider before. There was a Ghost Rider that looked incredibly similar to Carter Slade before, like, I think it was like a late Golden Age. Although if it was late 50s, then that would technically be early Silver Age.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Unless we're going by Marvel Silver Age as like the early 60s.
Yeah.
It's kind of a debated topic of when the Silver Age started. If it was mid 50s with the Flash, or early 60s with like with the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to leave that up to your interpretation, which one you would rather go with. I tend to go with the mid-50s with the appearance of Barry Allen Flash as the start of the Silver Age.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
The Silver Age did start with Barry Allen.
I don't remember. I think it wasn't somewhere during the 50s when the original Ghost Rider before Carter Slade showed up. I remember watching a video that talked about the history of Ghost Rider, and I don't remember the exact details.
Yeah, Mad, we can go over the comic book ages at a later date.
Yeah,
right.
Obviously, Carter Slade is the version of the older Ghost Rider that's more prominent, and also makes a little more sense to adapt and include with Johnny Blaze. Well, I find it strange that in the movie they have Carter Slade be like more of a traditional, what we would expect from Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Rather than him having the whole Phantom Rider look.
More than Bonehead.
Oh, he was also. Well, they also mix in elements of Gravedigger, who made his first appearance in the Rise of the Midnight Suns.
Yeah. Does anyone have anything else about Ghost Rider to add?
It's said that the West was built on legends, and that legends are a way of understanding things greater than ourselves. Forces that shape our lives, events that defy explanations, individuals whose lives soar to the heavens or fall to the earth. This is how legends are born.
All right,
I knew he was looking up that monologue. I knew he was looking up that monologue.
And it's followed by a song that probably wasn't made for Ghost Rider, but fits anyway.
Quick side note. His name is actually Caretaker, but only aspects of his character was carried over into Carter Slade in the movie. But he was still mostly the Phantom Rider / the original Ghost Rider. But again, like Caretaker, he made his appearance during Rise of the Midnight Suns and during the time when Danny Ketch became the Ghost Rider, and him and Johnny formed a supernatural hero duo known as the Spirits of Vengeance.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Wolf was gonna sing a little song.
I mean, he
Go
started to sing
He's
the
like, yeah,
the
well, it
Ghost Riders
fit.
in the Sky like song, but he didn't continue.
It
Don't
fit.
encourage him.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else I have to say on it? I think I've said all I have to say on that one. I think you guys
I think we
covered all
pretty
the
much
points.
said about everything about the early Oz Marvel movies.
Except the fact I did not get a chance to speak of the wonderful scene of in the Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer with Johnny Storm coming out of the shower all steamed up. That is classic motion picture cinema. And now I am done.
It's not the only time in the Fantastic Four movies that Chris Evans wasn't wearing very much.
Oh yeah, I can
Great.
Goodness.
Wait, Wolf, do you even have a clip of Chris Evans from the Fantastic Four movies?
No.
I'm assuming you know which clips I'm referring to, though.
I know.
Oh yes, me too. I can go through all of them in descriptiveness, but I won't. But I know he's talking about. Well, why you got that up there like that? What are you doing? So I didn't even get started. He just. You're not right.
Well, if you were that thirsty, you should just ask.
I'm gonna do something else just to pass the time.
Yeah. I didn't ask. I'm just talking about.
Look at the bounce. Look at that bounce.
Wolf, stop. Just
like a bunch of sandbags, just boom, 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 boom.
Oh
just
my
stacking.
God.
Yeah,
stacking.
because apparently that can't cause damage to your spine.
Oh God! So look what you've done to poor.
And they're inflatable.
Right, that's for you guys. I was going to
have found the video that I was talking about, about the history of Ghost Rider.
I mean,
you found it?
Yeah, I found the video that I was talking about. That
Is it time for you to take a bath? Go ahead. Hot tub right there.
There you go. I put it in the private
He ain't
chat.
steamy, but here's a Chris Hemsworth that's glistening.
Oh, that's some steamy stuff. I'm sorry, guys. I got him on a roll. I didn't.
It's not close, but we do got a wet Hugh Jackman.
Although you can't really. It's only really his head, up his shoulders and head. You can't really see his whole body.
I just love how man's body shape itself when it moves after a workout. I just love that.
Wolf,
yes, I know I do.
I'm getting the spray. Wolf, if you keep this up, I will get the spray bottle.
I ain't the one who's front center on the horny scale.
Wait, no, all I just said was, well, Matthew said there were these great moments in Fantastic Four, and yes, that's just a great moment.
Okay, so is this the part where we grab a stick and bonk Leia on the head?
No, do it to Wolf.
No. That reserves for our captain here because he can't help himself of being the chivalrous pervert, even though he is the leader.
Yeah, he just cannot help himself.
Like that.
He can't help himself.
Yeah, once again, I'm gonna have to do something just to pass the time.
Okay, while I appreciate the brunettes, I'm more of a blonde, redhead man myself.
There you go.
We're free now, final. I know you're enjoying your book.
Are you a cat person,
All
though?
I simply said was Johnny
I'm not a furry of any kind, so it's not really going to work for me.
And then there's the scene where the nurse...
Right.
She still has fur, so
takes
furry.
Only when she transforms.
And she says, "Oh, you're hot," and he says, "Oh, so are you."
I'm serious, Wolf. I will spray you.
Although you have just reminded me, I do need to go and watch the rest of Outlaw Star because I never finished it.
Wolf, you can't stop. We've got. What is this? Sorry, Matthew. I thought he was done.
Let at it.
I'm sorry. Final. You can find on into his book.
Is he done
Oh,
now?
Neo Star, my lord. Oh Lord. Yes, he's done finally. You can
He
I
better
know the
be.
book is
We
wonderful.
gotta wrap up soon.
But he's
Wait,
yes, it's getting late for
Leia,
myself on my end. Yes, Dom?
yeah, you need to not be so overly flustered.
Dom, I can't help it. I'm very weak, okay?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you all?
What do you mean? What is she lying about?
He said, what am I lying about? I'm telling the truth, Don. I can't help it.
About
I'm weak.
can't
You don't
help
do
it.
that.
Oh yeah, much like you,
cannot-
Wolf.
You
Much like
cannot
you.
put
Hey, at least I'm not ashamed of it. I'm
not
proud
ashamed.
to be what I am.
You
Proud
still
werewolf.
need
How can I
you
not get
still need to
flustered?
be you still need to be a gentleman, even if you are a werewolf.
Hey, I am a gentleman. I kiss my wife every night before I go to bed.
Joe, Joe,
Trick
you're
is Leia.
you're a gentleman. Yeah. Every time this happens, you show to be a chivalrous pervert under your gentleman persona.
Alright, Leia, here's the trick if you want to actually make it out of this alive. Close your eyes.
Or put on a
That's a hard
blindfold.
part.
Oh, you man, you just don't understand. You just don't understand the power and the pull and the magnetism. How can I? You don't see it every day. So when you get it, you have to enjoy it. We don't have a
We
strong.
understand, but if you ever do, but if Wolf ever pulls that up again, trick is close your eyes.
I mean,
All
Leo,
right.
it's socially acceptable for you to like act that way when you see like shirtless men. If we act that way towards women, we're ostracized for it and like called sexist and stuff like that.
I won't
But
ostracize.
for you, because you're a woman, it's socially acceptable for you to do that.
Well, you know what, Matthew? It wouldn't offend me because I know you are men. So if I can have my fun, you can have your fun too. So that I know what you're saying, Matthew. It's crazy to be like that, but I say it's equal opportunity here. So if I get to drool and gloat and get all flustery, then you could do the same thing too with many of the beautiful ladies that you admire. Matthew, you said
Yeah.
She's got a point.
You love blondes, Matthew. So if you want to,
Yeah, blondes and redheads.
Then you go right ahead and enjoy your images as well. We're equal here. It's fair. It doesn't bother me because I want to have my fun, and you should have your fun
got
too.
One or two in there.
Also,
he says he likes blondes and redheads.
There's plenty of them
Long
in
story.
here.
Yeah.
Long story shortly, men and women respectively like appreciate the beauty that exudes from each other. To say they can't is just being I would say discriminative, but you're just denying them from appreciating beauty.
No shit.
Correct. Professor Geek has brought up there's a difference between feminization.
Wait, wasn't it a character being sexy and sexualized? I think that's
right,
what it was.
exactly. Yes, there is a difference between the two. Yes. For women, the problem with the woke nuts is that when they see breast and hips, they think it's sexualized, and that's what...
Yeah, they go extreme in one direction, and the yeah, people going extreme the other way.
What do you mean?
Look,
What do you
damn
mean?
it. Let's not devolve into that.
So, we can talk about that later.
We could talk,
Sure, I
talk
wasn't.
about that on the weekend if you like. Damn it.
Okay, I was just saying that breast and hips are natural for women. That's all.
Now, come now, Wolf. We're not devolving. We are still human. We're not monkeys yet.
I wasn't going to go into it.
I don't have a tail yet, sadly. And don't worry,
I
I'm not
wasn't
going
gonna
to
go
throw
in-
my poo around. I'm not a monkey.
Not monkeys, we're not horn dogs either. Unlike you.
Your boogeyman. That's what I am.
I wasn't going to go into it. I was just letting the men know that it was okay for them to admire the beautiful ladies that they love.
Oh, we know.
Doesn't bother me one
We
bit.
know, yeah. But what I'm saying is that if you ever want to make this out alive and just actually make this one out alive whenever he starts pulling a lot of tricks like this, just close your eyes.
And also have a strong will, so you won't be easily flustered. Because there's actually a trope from allthetropes.org called "Ignore the Fan Service."
I will take your advice. I will see if I can try to overcome my earthly weakness of hotness. I shall see. I'm proud of. Wolf, you know you need to stop. you need to stop.
Anyways, let's thank everybody for being here. Those 5 of you and those 9 motherfuckers that kept popping in and out. Thank you, Twilly, for joining with us, for playing the part of being the silent, sneaky son of a bitch. Apparently. Until he revealed his identity in the middle of the stream. Thank you, Matthew, for being with us. Thank you, everybody, for sharing within the comments. We'll be picking this back up once again, and this time around, we'll be talking about our rewrites for our potential rewrites of the movie that we talked about tonight, and our ideas of how to tie it into a cinematic universe known as the Marvel Knights universe. Interesting roster I'm putting together here with Blade, even though we spoke very little of him, but we're going to speak more of him this coming Thursday. The Punisher, which would be an interesting choice considering how completely human he is. The Ghost Rider, who happens to be a supernatural being from hell, compared to a half human, half vampire, and an all human. And of course, we have the superpower human Daredevil forming the Marvel Knights. We'll also be talking about Aliens Hulk, because I know Matthew wants to talk about that too tonight, but we weren't able to. So we'll be discussing Aliens Hulk, and we'll get into the rewrites this Thursday. Thank you, Matthew Flynn, the Gladiator. Kaon.
Yeah. Let the Matrix light your darkest hour. Goodbye from the Warrior of Darkness.
That's Tim, the Warrior of Light, Final Fantasy Fan 12.
Well, that about does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, click like and subscribe and share with your family and friends. And make sure you ring that notification bell. That way you get notified of our latest videos. Go subscribe to Wolf10 Media if you haven't already. Go subscribe to Matthew Flynn if you haven't already. Go subscribe to me if you haven't already. And be sure you stay tuned for next month, for June 16th on my channel, which will be episode 7 of Comic Studies, doing Superman for all seasons. Be sure you stay tuned for that. It's going to be quite the doozy on that one. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Final Fantasy Fan 12 signing off. And remember, may the light forever shine upon us.
The lovely Lady of Valor, that's now all hot and bothered.
Oh my goodness.
Remember, close your eyes.
Good evening, everyone. This is Leia Plus Size, your lovely Lady of Valor. Thank you for joining us this evening for this very interesting conversation about comic book movies before the MCU. If you have any suggestions on any other type of genre, or if we missed any movies you think should be mentioned, please leave it in the comments below. I'm sure. Until then, we will see you on Thursday, and you all have a good evening. I'm still going to get that one out.
We always got to reward her for determination.
Thank you.
The Hell of the South Dominic Powell.
And thank you everybody for joining us in tonight's live stream as we go over like our honest thoughts on each of these Marvel movies before the MCU. As we go over what worked, and what needed to be improved with the hindsight being 2020. If you like what you listen, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Wolf 10 Media's channel. And if there are any other movies, books, or other works of fiction that you'd like us to discuss in the future, make sure you put them down in the comment section down below. And I hope you all have a good rest of your night. This is the Hound of Solid Dominic Powell, and remember to keep on fighting and keeping hope, optimism, and idealism alive in the world. Because even though there is darkness in the world, it does not mean the world is a complete crapshoot.
Thank you, Dom. It's been your Wolf Commander Wolf 10. Remind you guys once again, you are the UN Spacey. Welcome to the Wolf Fleet.
What's up? Can a low come up in your crib?
Man, fuck you, nigga. I see you at work.
I don't hate me because I'm beautiful, nigga. Maybe if you got rid of the old yee-ass haircut you got, you get some bitches on your dick. Nah, better yet, maybe Tanisha will call your dog ass and she quit fucking with that brain surgeon, the lawyer she fucking with. Nigga.